Hey Hogs, this is the highly requested um, video about our blocking scheme against St. Thomas Academy. As we talked about in film today, they do run a 3-4 defense just like we do, and they slant just about every play. The direction they typically slant towards the strength, which would be towards our H, but since we move our H so much, I don't know if they're going to really do that. The second way they like to slant is towards the field. So if we're on the hash, let's say if we were on this hash right here, they like to slant towards the field, so the wide side of the field. That's their second thing that they like to do. But they rip and get upfield just kind of like we do. They just want to cause havoc in the backfield, get penetration in the backfield, just like what we want to do. They're pretty good at it. They're pretty fast. We just got to make sure we get our head on the play side number and not give up penetration. That's the biggest thing, is that we can't give up penetration in the backfield. So they either slant one way or slant the other way. The other thing they will do is that they will play a little X game here with the linebacker, where the linebacker will come inside as the end goes outside. And that's where I talked about if we're just doing our pass protection here, making sure that we're on our guy. And if we fan out and this guy crosses your face, this end, we got to be ready for that. And as you step out to fan out, if you see that end disappearing, you know someone else is coming in and you got to pick up the linebacker. Same thing with this. If they do this little X, whoa, they do this little X here, and we're running counter this way. Tackle, you know that you just take this end out where he wants to go. The guard, when you pull, just make sure you stay tight. Find the first ugly jersey, and it's going to be that linebacker that's scraping over the top, and you're actually going to kick out this linebacker that's going to be in the hole, and then our H will lead up and through on that linebacker right there. Next thing they'll do is that they'll go down into two techniques. There'll be wide sevens here. This guy will put in an extra corner. Kind of like this. So let's go through our blocks here. This is where I talked about if we run dive to the right here, we're going to man the front side. So the guard, play side guard, has a man block. Center is going to check to make sure that guy stays in his gap before he works up the linebacker. And then on the backside, we have our normal chip, scoop, and trying to get the play side guard up to that linebacker, because we're trying to run the ball in the A gap when we run dive. So that's why we want to try to push the front side here, and have the center go up and then reach the backside, so we can create this seam right in the A gaps. That's what we want to try to do on dive here. It's an A gap run. We want to try to push this guy out and have the center go up, and then have the tackle overtake this two technique if you can, and have the guard go up to that linebacker. And then the H would go up. Okay. We will run dive cap as well. So let's just say if this H is on the other side, right here, we will run dive cap where he will then come back and do that. Next play we'll talk about is sweep. Sweep's the same. So sweep will scoop, chip, scoop, which that'll be a tough block there. And if that's something where if we need to man this on sweep as well, because it's a tough block for our center to get to, we can do that. Here's a chip. Here's a scoop. Working up to backside backer. You guys are working up to play side. Okay, we'll have our H probably on the play side, so he'd be working up to linebacker or possibly even this end right here if he's that far out. So let's say we'll run sweep to the left. It'd be this. You'd probably actually work up to backer. This would be a chip, a scoop, chip, and a scoop, and we'll probably run the ball right there. Next one we'll talk about is trap. So we're going to trap the two techniques. So it's going to be a type trap. So you'll say 2-2-2, bob, bob, bob. You're going to rip inside to that linebacker. If this guy tries to cross your face and slant inside, like I said, sometimes they'll slant one way or the other. Okay, but if he tries to slant across your face, let him go and then work up to that linebacker. Play side tackle, you're there. Our H will also be up to there. Center, you'll block back. Backside guard is going to be a fast kick out on that end. And if we get a good push with the center and a nice kick out with the guard, this will actually be a really nice seam for us to run it downhill. Backside guard, obviously you're wheeling and sealing. You can help out with this two technique and then come back and block the end. Next one, power. So if we run power this way, we'd kick out first person outside the tackle. We'd have a push block. We'd have a chip block. And you guys are working to backside backer. Tackle preferably would push and then work up there. Center, block back, backside guard, pulling up and through for the play side backer. And then same thing, help out with the two, come back and block the five. Counters the same thing. Kick out first person outside the tackle, push, chip to backer, down, wheel and seal, lead up and through. Power counter. Next one, jet or toss. Block the outside guy here, block down, pull, block the linebacker, your linebacker, down, pull, block your linebacker, and you can rip and run and try to get to that linebacker as well. That's on toss and jet. If we could run toss crack for any reason, then play side guard would go out to corner. Trying to think what else. Sometimes they do. They'll come out in 3s and 7s on passing situations and just try to rush the B and C gap and try to get upfield and to collapse the pocket. They will do that as well, but that's mainly on passing situations. They will shift into a 1 and a 3 sometimes, and he'll be a 5. Sorry, I'll do it the other way. They'll put the 3 technique on the backside. If they start doing this a lot, this is where I talked about where we can practice cutting. On the backside, you make a deli call and cut this 3 technique. If we're running power or counter or trap that way. But yeah, they'll come out in 1s and 3s sometimes, but like I said, I anticipate them being in 2s because they think they're going to be able to stop the run being in this package right here. And then when they realize they can't, then they'll come out in their base 3-4 defense and try to stop us that way. That's pretty much it. I'll just show you this. Hopefully this shares here. Yep. Screen. Sure. This is just footage from them last year doing the same thing I talked about. We got a 2 technique. We got a 2 technique. We got a 5. We got a 5. Same thing here. Got a 2 technique, got a 2 technique, got a 5, got a 5, got 2 stack backers. Okay, watching the lineman, notice one slants here, the other one slants here. Okay, that's just what they're doing. Next one, same thing, 2s and 5s. Okay, this time they actually got an X going on, so he's going to go here. This guy's going to try to come back around, go on the other side of him. Just block your gap. If you notice a guy vacates, try to stop him and pass him off to the next guy. Okay, just try to pass him off if you can. Here, we got to make sure we get our head across, though, because he's going into our gap. Same thing here. Okay, 2s and 5s. So he's slanting there, he's slanting there. And that's what that is. Next one here, notice now they're in a 4-0-4. There's a 0 technique. There's a 4 technique. Notice he's way out here in the 6 or a 5. It is 3rd and 13, so they're trying to get a pass rush. Notice here, they're in a 4-0-4, maybe even a 5. Okay, and they'll just slant all the same direction. Okay, here back in 2-2s because it's 3rd and 9. Here in 2-2s. Notice just slanting inside each time here. Once again, 2-2s. So you guys get the idea. I think that's what they're going to come out in. So we're going to practice that this week. Make sure we're ready for it on Friday.